Hi everyone, welcome to my living room. I thought I would offer you a evening kind of wind down practice today. Something that you can do at the end of the day when you're transitioning perhaps from a work mode into more relaxing mode, or something to practice before going to bed. That signal that tells your body and your mind just to start to slow down, start to connect, and just kind of make that space for ease and relaxation. So before you begin, if you need to take a moment and grab anything necessary, blocks, a pillow, you might find a blanket is helpful here for your Shavasana. Maybe put on something comfy, maybe light some candles, dim the lights, set the mood. Doing whatever you need to do just to really help kind of amplify that sense of winding down for you. So when you're ready, come into a comfortable seat. You might find that it's helpful to prop your bum up on a pillow, a bolster, just something to elevate your hips so you can bring about more length into your spine. You might find that just changing the positioning of your seat is better for you. So get comfortable, set yourself up, and then when you're ready, we'll begin. So beginning here, just by rooting down through the sits bones, think of just really stacking up through your spine. Feel the crown of your head lifting up. Maybe kind of move your head around a bit until you find a place where it just feels really light and centered. So you can really relax into the neck and shoulders a bit more easily. Take a moment to scoop the shoulders up towards your ears, to roll them back towards the ground. Just allow them to soften towards the floor. Begin to bring your chin in slightly, receiving some length into the back of your neck. You can either lower your gaze or close your eyes, shutting out any external distractions, taking this opportunity to simply go inwards. Beginning here by welcoming a nice big in-breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let that go. Just letting go of your day. Checking in for tension through the face. Relaxing into the jaw. Softening the tongue. Keep the shoulders just descending down towards the floor. And relax into your belly. Just allow everything to hang out here. Becoming aware of any other area of the body that might be showing up right now for you. Tension, discomfort, perhaps there's even pain. Just really tuning in, checking in, noticing where you need to be mindful, where you need to be a bit more careful throughout this practice. Begin to acknowledge your breathing as you inhale and exhale through your nose. Allow your breath to deepen. Allow your breath to lengthen. As you inhale, feel the breath traveling down into the body, noticing movement and expansion. As you breathe out, feeling everything softening towards your center. Observing where the breath goes. Invite it into those tight areas. Invite it into those places that require attention. As your attention begins to tune into the breathing, allow the chatter in the mind to start to slow down. Maybe it ceases altogether. Just one breath at a time, staying in this moment. you find a rhythm with your breath, begin just to lift your head back up. Blink your eyes to open perhaps. Begin by taking your hands behind your back. Lace your fingers gently and just taking your knuckles over to that right hip. Begin to draw the right ear down towards the right shoulder, keeping that left shoulder nice and heavy. Finding length into the neck, into the shoulder. Keeping your breath smooth and rhythmic. Begin to tilt your chin down towards the right. And then begin to welcome some tiny little circles. Maybe start to change the direction. Maybe start to nod the head. Yes, no, no, yes. Anything that you need to do here, just to let go of whatever is stuck here today. Being gentle with yourself. Begin to drop the chin down towards the chest. Pause here for a moment. And then transfer your knuckles over towards your left hip now. Begin to circle the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping that right shoulder nice and heavy. Pausing here, just receiving that stretch. Each exhalation, think of melting away any tension that might be held here. Let go of clenching that starts to creep up on you. Begin to tilt your chin down to the left now. And then finding circles, finding nods of the head. Exploring movement here. Really taking this opportunity to stay in your body. To not really worry about what's going on with me, what's going on around you. Completely investing this time in taking care of you. Allowing your chin to gently drop right back down towards the chest. And then releasing the fingers, placing your hands on your knees or your lap, wherever you're comfortable. Lifting your head all the way back up to center. Begin to circle through the upper body here. Really finding movement through the ribs. Creating space in the spine. Rooting down through your seat into the floor. Seeing if you can gain some more freedom and space through the upper body. Start to move in the opposite direction when you're ready. These circles are as big or as small as you would like. Notice if your breath is being held. Just keep those long, deep breaths throughout. Circle yourself all the way back to center here. Sitting up tall, taking the right hand towards the floor, softening into the shoulder and the elbow. Keep that left sit bone rooted down into the ground as the arm comes up and over the head. Maybe pull the shoulder back. Maybe look up slightly. Keep relaxing into that bottom arm. Nice big breaths here. Take an in-breath, come all the way back up, and then just circling that left hand to the right knee, taking the right hand behind you. Press down into the fingertips. Inhale, get tall. As you exhale, gently twist, looking over that right shoulder. Let go of that tension in the shoulders. Continue to relax through the belly. As you inhale, turn your head forward. As you exhale, unravel the body. Bringing the left hand down towards the floor, softening the shoulder and the elbow down towards the ground. Start to firm down into that right sit bone as the right arm comes up and over your head. Pull the shoulder back perhaps, maybe look up if this feels okay for your neck. Otherwise, just keep your gaze downwards. Begin receiving those deep, full breaths all through that side body as you lengthen. As you inhale, come back up, sweeping that right hand over to the left knee, taking the left hand, fingertips down to the ground. Inhale, rising up through the spine. Exhale, finding that twist. Gently turning your gaze to look over that left shoulder. As you take your next in-breath, begin to gently turn your head back to center. As you exhale, come all the way back around. You're going to take a moment here to come onto your hands and your knees. As you find your hands and your knees here, just begin to find a few circles here. So sending the hips over to the right, dropping the bum down towards the heels, sweep over to the left and back to center. Sweeping the hips over to the left, down towards the heels, over to the right and to center. Finding that movement a few more times. Start to notice where you're holding on to tension, maybe through the hips or the low back. Come right back around to center here. Turning the wrists forward, fingers point towards the body. Just rocking gently back and forth. These movements might be very small, especially if you're experiencing some pain or discomfort. So being really mindful of the range of movement that you choose here. And returning to center, turn your hands forward. Bringing the top of the left hand onto the ground so the fingers are pointing towards you. Gently press down into the back of the hand, press down into the fingers, and start just to lean back ever so slightly, and then begin to come forward. So really tiny, really gentle movements here. This will be different for everyone. So just find a range of movement that feels appropriate. Notice if you're holding on to your breath here. Good. Give that left hand a little shake. And just place the palm down to the floor. Same thing on that right side. Might be a bit tighter on that right side if you're right hand dominant. But again, continuing just those gentle movements back and forth. Whatever feels good for you. This is not the time to get as deep as a stretch as possible. As we wind down for the evening, we're thinking of how we can take care of ourselves. As you come to center, give that right hand a little shake, and then plant the right hand back down to the floor. Tuck your toes under. Come into downward facing dog here. As you take downward facing dog, start to paddle your legs. One heel lowers to the floor as the opposite knee bends. And just continue here. Taking your time, adding any other form of movement that feels good, that allows you just to stretch out and let go of your day. Spreading through the fingers as you plug down into the palms, pushing your weight back. And take an in-breath here as you exhale. Begin to gently walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat. Take a look at your feet here. They might be hip distance. They might be a bit wider. Start to plant down to all four edges of both feet. Find a soft little bend in the knees and allow the belly just to relax onto the thighs. You can keep your hands on the ground, on the shins, on the blocks. See if you could really let go of the head. Bringing your hands to opposite elbow creases might feel good. Maybe start to straighten your legs a bit more, just acknowledging any strain occurring in the low back. And allow the upper body just to simply sway from side to side. What tiny shifts can you create in your body to welcome more space? Keep that breath smooth and steady. Take your hands in front of you and lace your fingers with the palms open. And then bringing the thumbs to the very back of the skull, where the edge of the skull meets the neck. Gently draw the elbows in towards the front of the head. And as you gently squeeze the head, just think of a very slight traction here. As you feel the head lengthening out from the shoulders, finding a nice stretch into the neck. Continue to plant down equally into all four edges of both feet. Let the elbows open back up and gently relax the arms back down to the ground, unlacing the fingers. Bending into your knees, touch more. As you push your feet into the ground, begin to roll up to standing. Let your chin drop last. Scoop your shoulders all the way up towards the ears and roll them back down to the ground. Take a moment here, just really paying attention to the body, the breath, where you are in space, and stepping towards the top of your mat. As you root down through the soles of the feet, as you lift up through the heart, continue to breathe those long, drawn-out breaths, and then inhale the arms, extend overhead. As you exhale, folding forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, step the left toes back. Bend into that right knee. Lay that left shin down towards the floor. Find padding under the left knee if that's uncomfortable for you. As you plant your left hand onto the ground, take that right hand on top of the right knee. Think about pushing the right knee forward and just twisting the body open to the right. You might find a bit of weight shifts to the outer edge of the right foot. And then inhale that right arm up. Exhale, reach the hand towards the back of the room. Staying here. It might feel good to grab a hold of that left foot. Up to you. If you find that you're really struggling to grab the back foot, I would skip it. Find an in-breath here, look forward. As you exhale, releasing that left foot. If you had a hold of it, circle the right arm all the way back over. Take that right knee back to join with the left. Shift your weight forward, bringing your shoulders over your wrists. As you lower your chest to the ground, keep the elbows in. Let your chin touch the floor perhaps. And then as the tops of the feet come to the ground, push yourself forward, coming into a cobra. Inhale here. Exhale, lower back down. Push yourself all the way back up onto your hands and your knees and come right back into a downward facing dog. Take your time. Good. Looking forward, step that left foot all the way to the top edge of your mat. As you bend into the left knee, begin to lower the right, finding padding under that right knee if that's helpful. Right palm down to the floor, left hand on top of that left knee. And think about just twisting open here, dropping that right hip, opening the chest, maybe looking up. Notice if the shoulders hunch. Keep relaxing them away from the ears. Keep that length in the neck. Left arm can reach up here, reaching towards the back of the room. Stay here or take a hold of that right foot. Notice your breath. As you take your next inhalation, look forward, release that back leg, circle the left arm all the way forward. Picking up the back knee, step the right foot all the way to the top of your mat. Take an in breath, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms extend overhead. As you exhale, take your hands together in front of your heart center. Okay, take a giant step to the back of your mat, coming into a nice wide stance. From here, you're going to turn your toes to point towards the corners of your mat. And if you extend your arms out to the side, see if you can kind of gauge it so the wrists are kind of stacked above the ankles roughly. Start to bend into your knees. Take your hands on top of your thighs, fingers are pointing away from you. And start to kind of shrug into the shoulders as you press into the heels of the hands. Swaying the hips from side to side. And take your time. Whatever range of movement feels good for you here. Stopping at center, pressing that right thigh away from you as you lower the right shoulder, turning your head to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Dropping that left shoulder, pressing the left inner thigh away from you as you look to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop the right. Inhale. Exhale, drop the left. Inhale. Come all the way back up to straight legs here. Pull your heels out slightly, turn your toes in. Hands stay at your hips as you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, begin to fold forward. Taking your hands down towards the floor or onto blocks here, push down into the ground. Feel the crown of the head extend forward. As you exhale, start to fold in, just relaxing the elbows down towards the ground. If you feel a lot of strain in your low back, bend your knees here. Otherwise, charging down through the outer edges of the feet. You might even walk the hands back slightly. Yeah, just keep really emptying the breath here. As you find your next inhalation, begin to walk your hands forward for support and begin to heel toe your feet in just a bit closer. Coming into Malasana here. So toes are most likely pointing out, but start to come down into your little squat here. If this is bothering your knees, sometimes taking weight into, or bringing a block underneath your bum and bringing your weight into that can be helpful. Sometimes just even just sitting down on the bum and just keeping the legs wide can be helpful. If you can stay here for a moment, stay here however. Good, maybe move around a little bit. Start to press the elbows a bit more firmly into the inner thighs as the tailbone roots down. As you extend through to the crown of the head. And just noticing how your body receives this. Trying to be gentle with ourselves. To let go of any tension from our day. When you're ready, bringing your hands back down to the ground, lifting up through the seat, heel toe your feet in a bit closer. And just fold for a moment again, maybe pedal the knees out a bit. And then turning yourself forward and coming all the way down onto your knees. As you come to your knees, take the knees wide. Settle your bum down towards your heels. Walk the hands over to the right as far as you can. Think about really kind of suction cupping that left palm down to the floor. Lean into the left hip, round into the left side body, drop the forehead down. As you inhale, start to lift the head back up and begin to walk your hands all the way over to the left, really reaching far with that right hand. Lean into the right hip, lower the forehead to the ground. As you inhale, lift your head back up, walk your hands back into center, rising up onto your hands and your knees, and maybe just cross your legs to come onto your bum. As you come onto your bum, set yourself up with that right leg extended out to the side, pulling your left heel in towards you. Start to turn yourselves towards that right foot, pressing gently through the sole of the foot with the toes pointing up. Inhale. Exhale, start to walk yourself just over that leg for a moment. Let the head grow heavy. Just breathe here. Inhale, begin to rise back up. Exhale, turn to center and just folding over that left foot now. Maybe coming down onto a prop for support, maybe coming down to the floor. Keeping a heaviness through your sits bones. Inhale, start to straighten back up. And then changing your feet. As you extend that left leg, draw that right heel in towards you. Take a moment to set yourself up. Turning towards the left foot. Take a nice exhalation as you fold. Coming as far as feels right for you. You don't want to force anything. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Try to soften into the base of the neck. Just finding surrender here. Find that nice soft breath if you've lost it along the way. Take an in-breath, rise back up, straighten through your arms. Turning yourselves back to center. Slowly fold over that foot. Breathe here. Take an inhalation, slowly come all the way back up. And just bringing your legs in. Invite you to come onto your back. So you might want to have a pillow, a bolster, or a blanket nearby. But as you come onto your back, just begin here with the soles of your feet about mat width. Take your arms out to the sides. Take an in breath. As you exhale, lower the knees over to the right. Inhale the knees back up. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Just continuing this just a few more times. Just moving at your own pace with your own breath. After you've gone to each side an even number of times, take the knees back up and then allow the knees to draw in towards one another. You might need to adjust your feet here. You might need to just kind of tuck the tailbone under for a moment and just resettle the weight of the pelvis back down to the floor. This should be very effortless, so you might need to adjust the proximity between your feet and your pelvis. Let your eyes fall closed. Welcome a deep in-breath in through your nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Staying here if this feels comfortable. Otherwise, begin to work your legs to straight. You might place support underneath the knees. Just making sure that you feel comfortable. Get cozy with a blanket if you need to. Start to feel the weight of the body really settling down into the ground. Finding complete surrender here. Again, drawing that nice big in-breath in through the nose, really filling up through the belly, through the lungs. Open the mouth. Maybe let out an audible sigh this time. Doing that once again, inhale, filling up. Exhale to let go. You might find keeping your mouth slightly open helpful. If you know you have a tendency to clench your teeth, feel the tongue settling into the mouth. Begin to unravel through the back of the neck and the shoulders. Get very heavy through your pelvis as the belly stays soft. Continue to simply observe that gentle movement, that rise, that fall, that expansion, that contraction. Just honoring yourselves today. Giving yourselves permission to stay here as long as you would like. As you continue to transition from a busy day into a nice, peaceful evening, a nice, restful slumber. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.